On today's episode of Pathmonk Presents, I have a very special guest with me joining today. Please welcome Ashley, who is the VP of Product and Marketing for Hubble Technology. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super excited to have you here on the podcast, learn more about who you are, your growth story, everything from your challenges to your successes within your career, and also really getting to deep dive into what Hubble Technology is. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. It's our honor to have you here today. So for all of our listeners out there, give us an insight. What is Hubble Technology and what essentially do you guys do?
For sure. So Hubble Technology is focused on empowering businesses to gain end-to-end visibility into their organization's asset and security controls. So we primarily serve the cybersecurity community. Specifically, our product, which we actually just relaunched earlier this month, super exciting. We named it Aurora to kind of continue with our space theme, is designed to provide an unbiased and comprehensive view of an organization's entire tech stack. What's extremely unique about our approach is actually how we define an asset. So you and I might think of assets as like a computer, our cell phone, or even maybe a printer. But at Hubble, we define an asset as anything that provides intrinsic value to your organization. Through Aurora, we are addressing a key concern that many businesses have, and that's the risks that arise due to not having full visibility into your assets and their corresponding security controls. So to solve this key challenge, we're dedicated to ensuring that businesses have a continually updated map of their entire technology universe.
Super cool. Thanks for giving us a high-level overview as well. This is really great. So now, in terms of your clients, how do they typically find you? Because cybersecurity is a very, very tight-knit niche overall, and it's very community-oriented. A lot of it is referrals and word of mouth. So how do you typically find you? Can you give us an insight on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's very unique, obviously, about the cybersecurity community is we serve all companies in all industries around the world because everyone needs a cybersecurity program at the end of the day. And we've seen that a lot lately through the news and different cyber attacks. So one of the incredible things about the platform that we just launched is that it's not constrained to a certain size. So we don't need to serve smaller organizations or larger organizations. Our platform is able to size accordingly to how many assets an organization may have. But you hit the nail on the head. Since it is such a small niche community, our network is really important to us, right? So our ability to use referrals, strategic partnerships, SEO, industry events, that's really how people find us and we're able to connect with them. For example, we actually just launched a really important strategic partnership with Legato Security here based in the United States. And Legato Security is an MDR, so a managed detection and response solution, but in more simpler terms, basically, it's just when an organization outsources part of their cybersecurity program to Legato. And so we were able to bundle our solution as part of their MDR solution. And so leveraging that partnership, we're able to help their customers by giving them this visibility that they didn't necessarily have prior to the partnership.
Wow, that's really great. And I love too how putting an emphasis on partnerships as well, because not only does it benefit you, but it benefits the other third party as well it's working with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So now I want to switch gears here and I want to talk about the website. So in your own words, what would you say are the major strengths of the Hubble Technology website, but also where are there opportunities for room for improvement as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say our website is really important to us because it's definitely a primary touch point for potential customers and partners, as everyone knows, right? So this gives them the opportunity to understand our brand and our product solution prior to a demo or actually having to talk to us face to face. So I think our strength lies in the product information we're able to provide at a high level on the website, but then also the persona dedicated pages, right? So depending on what your role is within the cybersecurity community or the team that you're on, we really have tried to make our website so that you can find a page that's really going to resonate with you and what your role and responsibilities are. And then I think also just the ease of navigation, the ability for you to find, those relevant pages for you is where our strength definitely lies. I don't know. I mean, it's like any dynamic platform, right? There's always areas that we seek to improve and refine the user experience for. Lately, I've been spending a lot of time just ensuring that the flow of the pages makes sense and that we're not giving people too much information, because at the end of the day, we also don't want them to be overwhelmed. We want that first, 10-second experience when they do go to hubble.net to be one where they actually understand value that our solution provides and the challenge that we're trying to solve for. So just continuing to make sure that we are able to convey that message and make that very abundantly clear is something that I think that we're continuing to focus on.
Yeah, definitely. But I completely understand too, with cybersecurity, you have to be able to be very concise and to the point, because with how technical and all of the terms, so many people who are not familiar with the background will get overwhelmed, and then they will come and look at the website and think, oh my God, this is too much. Where am I going? I don't even know what I need anymore because of how overwhelmed I am. So I completely understand.
Yeah. So kind of like the bottom up approach, like, okay, here's the foundation. And then if they continue to click into the website, giving them those bits of more technical information that they may need if they are, more technical in nature, versus also having more of, to your point, the more tagline, like high level, messaging that you or I could understand even if we don't have a technical background. So completely agree. It's finding that balance though, and it is a hard balance to find.
Yes, it is, exactly. It's like, okay, how do I phrase this for someone who either, like, for example, is a culinary artist or is a doctor? So I completely understand 100%.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so now we're going to talk about you as a leader. So within all the years of experience that you have, and given your current background, and with being the VP product and marketing, what are the key tasks that you focus on your day-to-day work?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Since I do wear two very different hats, I do have the opportunity to have a pretty fun day-to-day basis. Like it changes every single day. And I really love that. It challenges me. It keeps me honest. I have to make sure that I'm keeping up with, both the marketing side of things as well as the product improvement. So I would say my key task at the end of the day is just to prioritize ensuring that Aurora stays competitive in the market and ahead of the curve, right? So this involves me collaborating with a lot of the various teams throughout Hubble to understand and address market needs, reaching out to industry analysts and others outside of Hubble to ensure that I am, don't have just a tunnel vision and I'm really thinking outside of the box. And then obviously continuing to refine our go-to-market strategy based off those conversations and the evolving demands of our audience. I think one unique focus is also just, since I have the product hat as well, I have the opportunity to work with our engineering team as well as our customer success team very closely as well. So I get to hear from a more technical perspective, the ins and outs of what they're thinking and how they go about creating new features for our product. But then I also get to listen in on customer conversations to see how they're using the product, how we can continue to improve. And those perspectives I think are very unique, especially in the marketing front, right? Because at the end of the day, the goal of marketing is to be able to resonate with our audience. And what better way to be able to do so than getting to hear from our customers as well as our backend team to understand what actually goes into creating this awesome product. So yeah, I would say, I know that's not necessarily a day in the life, but in a broader sense, that's definitely what my day-to-day focus is on.
Yeah, but that's really cool though. I love the fact that, you get to interface with the engineering team, understanding like the back-end architecture of how Aurora works, and then front-facing with the customer success team on what the clients are loving about the product, what are things that they want moving forward, and then what are things that they're struggling with. Like that's like the perfect mix. That's like the perfect mix where you're in all three, literally.
It is. And I mean, the beauty of working for a startup too is we all get to wear so many hats, right? So at the end of the day, while I might be wearing more of like the product focused, like engineering workshop conversations one day, I can switch my hat so quickly to be like, oh, I need to go post on social, or I need to go update the website. And so just having that mentality, and that's something that you'll find throughout Hubble Technology, has been really inspiring and a fun environment to work into.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. That's really great overall. Yeah. So now we're getting close to the end of our interview. I'm gonna ask you some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Perfect. So let's say that there were no boundaries in technology and you could do absolutely anything that you wanted. What would be the one thing that you would want to have fixed within your current role today?
Wow, it's a hard one. I'll try to keep it marketing focused. So, personally, I'd love to see a platform that really unifies all of the marketing analytics in real time. It would be immensely simple. It would simplify my decision-making process and allow for more agile and responsive marketing strategy. And as I said, I wear many hats, so that would just save me time in the long run. I think there's probably some organizations that claim to do this today. Maybe it does exist, and this interview will help me find that solution. But I think that is something that would really provide extreme value and be extremely powerful in the job that I have.
Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping that there is a tool like this, or especially another one like just attribution. I feel like attribution is another one that
I completely agree.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So now, what is the one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
I actually loved this question when I was looking over this before the podcast, because I feel like I've had the unique perspective or the unique opportunity to actually restart my career. So I started working for a startup when I was 17 years old. And so I was about to go into college and I knew I wanted to get into marketing in the cybersecurity community. But during that time throughout college, when I interned for them, one thing that I really realized I needed to understand was the foundation of cybersecurity and really understand what it is that I'm marketing so that I can be successful and passionate about it. So I actually, instead of going straight into marketing after college, took a job at Accenture Consulting. And so I actually got to have the hands-on experience of what it was that different solutions in the cybersecurity space were solving for. And so that insight made coming back to marketing and having this role super insightful and empowering, because it gave me that backbone and that background to be able to really resonate with the audience that I'm trying to market to today. So I'm sure there's more advice that I could give myself in retrospect, but that's always the first thing that comes to mind. And I think that having that background has been super beneficial and insightful as I made the switch back to marketing.
Yeah, definitely. But it's really great too. It's almost like that's a full circle moment, like, wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very glad I did it.
Yeah, definitely. So now we're here at the end of our episode today, but I want to thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. And I also want to give you the last word. If anyone were to forget about everything we've talked about today in this interview, what is the one thing you want them to remember about Hubble technology overall?
Oh gosh, you caught me off guard there. I guess at the end of the day, it's all about foundations, right? So as I just mentioned about why I went back into marketing and the career choice that I made, like when you think of Hubble technology, think about that foundation for your cybersecurity program and making sure that you have the solid foundation, because otherwise your cybersecurity strategy can only go so far. If you don't know what assets are in your environment, there's no way that you can confidently have the assurance that you're securing your entire environment.
Yeah, definitely. And you summed it up perfectly, honestly.
Thank you.
Well, Ashley, thank you again so much. It was our pleasure having you on our podcast today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.